Ever wondered why does sweat smell? Today I'm going to talk about it. Man, I thought sweat was simple, it was not. I cannot go into all these topics right now because I don't know much very well about this, but I will try to explain as much as I learned without going off topic. There are two kinds of glands: apocrine glands and acrine glands, which are responsible for sweating. Acrine glands are found all over the body, like palms, hand, foot, etc. It releases salt and water. This helps us control the body temperature. Apocrine glands are found in underarms, groin areas, genitals, in the dark places with minimal oxygen flow. This one releases proteins and fats, and the sweat is a thicker fluid. Your apocrine glands are triggered by strong emotions like fear and anticipation, and stress. Stress can give up a terrible smell coming from apocrine glands. So if you have an important presentation or you're going to exams, remember that you might stink more than normal. Now, contrary to common knowledge, the sweat in itself doesn't actually smell. It's the bacteria that gives out the smell. How, you might ask? Well, bacteria is organic particles like dead skin cells and stuff in our sweat, and farts volatile organic compounds, which creates a very pungent smell. Yes, bacteria farts. For example, the bacteria Staphylococcus hominis that is effective at breaking down sweat molecules into compounds known as thioalcohol, which is a significant factor in the body odor smell. More body hair means more apocrine glands, which creates more sweat. That's why men smell worse than women generally, due to the high density of hair in the body and higher testosterone levels. But then you should cut all the hair, right? Cutting the hair only solves one problem. Cutting the hair doesn't change the fact that you have a lot of apocrine glands, but it can reduce the sweat if it gets evaporated faster into the air, not allowing bacteria to feed upon it. But what about shoe smell? Where does that come from? When sweat gets trapped in for a long time, it allows bacteria to feed on dead skin cells and produce methanethiol, a sulfur gas that smells like rotten cabbage or pungent cheese. Your feet has roughly 20 to 50,000 sweat glands more per square inch than anywhere else on your body. It creates a petri dish effect where shoes trap moisture, raising the humidity to nearly 100%, which softens your skin and providing more food for the bacteria. Now, two people doesn't sweat in a similar manner. There is this gene called major histocompatibility complex, MHC, that produces surface proteins that influence individual odors, and the female often prefer odor of dissimilar MHC genes in males. There are a lot of studies done on that. There are a lot of other factors that can also affect body odor, such as stress, anxiety, hot weather, genetics, hormonal changes, medication, being overweight, because if you have more areas for sweat accumulated in the body. There is also this gene called ABCC11 gene that is essentially a master switch for body odor. It provides instructions for making a protein that transport across cell into the sweat glands. There are two variants, and the non-dominant variants breaks down the lipid in protein, which never makes it to the sweat glands, and hence they don't create any smell or food for the bacteria. It is predominantly found in East Asians, with 80 to 80% of people in China, Japan, and almost most of Korea lacking the gene for body odor. What are these other reasons that smell from sweat comes from? There are other factors that can also give off a pungent smell. Normally, your kidneys filter out nitrogen ammonia and send them into the bladder. However, if you are dehydrated, your kidneys conserve water, and the body forces more of this waste throughout your skin. So if you're dehydrated, you're most likely to smell like urine. Diet is also a major factor in smell. Certain foods such as garlic, onions, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, and red meat can also give off a terrible smell after digestion. Right? Certain food can also make you sweat more. Like this extra sweat can give a strong body odor. This food don't directly trigger body odor, but they can factor in how you smell because of how much you're sweating, such as MSG, caffeine, spices like curry, cumin, hot sauce, spicy food, and alcohol. Eliminating or reducing these triggers can help improve your body odor. Your overall diet can also affect body odor. Some research has found that males who had a healthy diet, high in fruits and vegetables, have better smelling sweat no matter how much they sweat. Sweating might also be a sign that you are experiencing underlying medical conditions like liver disease, kidney disease can change the way your sweat smells. There is this condition called hyperhidrosis, which means you're sweating profusely in either the whole body or parts of the body. There's this other condition which is called bromihydrosis, where excessive body odor comes from skin and it might affect your daily life. One of the most common reasons it might be happening if you're taking medications like pain relievers, antidepressants, or some diabetes and hormonal medications, right? Several medical conditions and diseases are associated with changes in person's usual body scent, like diabetes, which can often give a fruity smell, menopause, overactive thyroid, liver disease, kidney disease, infectious disease, gout. What should we do then? A few things that help in reducing the sweat, which I'll not go into details, like showering every day, pretty obvious. Washing clothes frequently and wear clean clothes, also pretty obvious. Putting antiperspirants the night before so that it works through the night and prevents sweating the next day. Drinking water. When we are dehydrated, as I've said before, kidneys save water and the waste comes through skin, giving off a urine smell through the sweat. Putting on deodorants. It kills bacteria responsible for the odor, but it does not prevent sweating. Using antibacterial soap. It kills bacteria, but you should not overuse it because it can often kill good bacteria, which is necessary for our health. Wearing breathable clothes so that the sweat can evaporate quickly. Reducing stress level. You know how easy it is to reduce stress level. Thanks for watching.